hormone replacement therapy or not, dating while carrying dysphoria is like trying to dance while holding your breath. You want closeness, your body wants safety, your heart wants both. If you're listening to this alone in your room, wondering how to let someone all the way in without abandoning yourself, you're in the right place. You are not too much. You are not behind. You are worthy of love that meets you where you actually live. Here's what we're doing together today. We'll talk about what dysphoria does to connection and how to soften its grip. We'll build a safety-first dating plan that protects your body and your peace. I'll give you clear language for boundaries, disclosure, and intimacy so you're never left scrambling for the right words. In a minute, I'll share a one-sentence test that helps you spot a chaser before you get hurt. Near the end, I'll give you a simple before intimacy script you can say verbatim, plus a tiny aftercare ritual that calms the nervous system for both people. Take a breath with me. You don't have to choose between love and yourself. You can have both. And you get to set the terms. Let's name what dysphoria does in relationships so we can stop taking it personally. Dysphoria is not evidence that you're broken or hard to love. It's a nervous system alarm trying to protect you from being misseen or mishandled. Sometimes it makes you go quiet when you want to speak. Sometimes it makes you pull away from touch you actually want. Sometimes it flares in the mirror right before a date and whispers, "Call the whole thing off." Here's the reframe. Your system is not sabotaging you. It's negotiating for safety. When you honor that need, closeness stops feeling like a threat and starts feeling like oxygen. A practical way to honor it is to separate three things: your feelings, your needs, and the story. Feeling might be, I'm tense and small in my chest. Need might be, I want to feel named correctly and touched in ways that don't wake up dysphoria. Story might be, if I speak up, they'll leave. You don't have to solve the story right now. You start with the body, name the feeling, ask for the need. If asking out loud feels impossible, try this gentle sentence to open the door. I really like being with you, and I'm learning what helps my body feel safe. Can I share a couple specifics so we both enjoy this more? Most caring people will lean in when you make it that simple. And if they don't, you learn something valuable without having to bleed for it. Let's build a safety plan for dating because romance is not supposed to be an adrenaline sport. Meet in public for the first few dates. Share your location with a friend. Keep your own ride. Hold your boundaries around alcohol if it blurs your ability to read the room. If someone pressures you to hurry, to drink more, to go somewhere isolated, that's already an answer. Now the one-sentence chaser test. Ask, what do you like about me that isn't about my body or me being trans? Then say nothing. Let the silence work for you. If they can name your humor, your curiosity, your music brain, your gentleness with dogs, your ridiculous laugh at 2 a.m., you're hearing a whole person seeing a whole person. If they circle back to anatomy or fantasy, you have your clarity. You do not have to audition for someone's fetish. A cousin of the chaser is the secret keeper. They like you in private. They're anxious to be seen with you in daylight. They ask you not to post. They introduce you as a friend. That secrecy is not romantic. It's a liability. People who hide you to manage their shame put you at risk when that shame is triggered. You deserve to be chosen out loud. If you need words, try this. I care about how we show up for each other. I won't do a relationship that lives in the shadows. If you're not ready to be seen with me, I accept that as your boundary, and I'll release us both. Let's talk about disclosure. There is no single right moment for every person. We each hold different histories, risks, and needs. But I'm going to speak plainly here because I want you alive and well. Disclose before intimacy. Not because you owe strangers your life story. Because your safety, your dignity, and your ability to consent fully matter more than any short-term comfort. When disclosure happens early, you filter in the good and filter out the harm faster. When it happens late, the stakes are higher and the room for misunderstanding gets bigger. Here's a simple early date script you can adapt. I'm enjoying this, and there's something important I want you to know before we go any further. I'm a trans woman. I'm open to answering respectful questions, and I also have boundaries around what I share. If that changes anything for you, I prefer honesty now. If you've already been on a few dates and want to share as trust grows, try this. I like where this is going, and I want us to keep building on truth. I'm a trans woman. I didn't say it on day one because I wanted to feel out the connection first, but I won't move toward intimacy without you knowing who I am. Notice both versions. Center your worth and your pace. You're not asking for permission to exist. You're stating what's true and watching how they handle it. Now the before intimacy script I promised. Say, before we get physical, I want us both to feel safe and respected. I'm a trans woman. There are ways I love being touched and ways that don't work for me. I'll tell you what's yes and what's no, and I'll ask you the same. If this changes anything for you, say so now. I prefer kindness over confusion. It's direct, it's adult, it's protective. What if they respond poorly? You leave, you block, you debrief with someone who actually loves you. You do not absorb their panic or ignorance into your bones and call it your fault. Their reaction is data about them, not a verdict about you. Let's make intimacy more doable, because dysphoria doesn't have to own the room. Agree on a shared language before you're undressed. This can be as simple as, these are the words that feel good for my body. Please use them. Avoid these. Agree on a pause word, not just for stopping, but for slowing down without drama. I like the word yellow. It means I'm noticing something. Give me a second, let's adjust. Agree on a debrief. 2 questions after. What felt good? What do you want more of next time? No autopsies, just gentle notes. This keeps learning in the relationship, not in your head at 3 a.m. Compliments matter more than people realize. Ask your partner to affirm what you actually want to inhabit. If you look gorgeous, lands, and you're pretty for doesn't, say so. If your shoulders are strong, spikes dysphoria, but you move so gracefully, feels like sunshine, say so. You are not high maintenance for steering the energy toward what lets you bloom. If you're in a long relationship that's shifting, grief may sit next to love for a while. Both can be true. You can honor the history and still insist on being seen in the present. Bring your partner into the process without making them your gatekeeper. Share articles or resources when they're ready. Invite questions while holding your line. Try a weekly check-in with the same 3 prompts. What's one thing that felt affirming this week? What's one moment that stung? What's one tiny ritual we can add to make next week easier? Small, consistent care beats occasional grand gestures you can't sustain. Dating apps are their own ecosystem. You don't owe your whole story to the internet, but clarity saves time and protects energy. A single honest line in your bio can be enough. I'm a trans woman. Kindness is non-negotiable. It's not an apology. It's a filter. Pair it with photos that feel like you on a good day, not a performance you can't maintain. If someone opens with invasive questions, you can say, I don't discuss my medical history. If you're here for connection, ask me something you'd ask any woman. If they push, you're done. Let's widen the lens to safety again, because I care more about your life than your likes. If a date wants to keep you hidden, if their temper is quick, if your gut tightens every time their name lights your phone, pay attention. Write down your 3 non-negotiables and tell at least one friend what they are. Examples might be public respect, consistent pronouns, and no secrecy. If one gets broken, you decide in advance how you'll respond. This keeps you from bargaining with your worth when your heart is tired. And if you're listening in stealth, I'm thinking of you. Maybe you're not out to family or work. Maybe your phone is the only place you get to be named correctly. You still deserve tenderness. There are quiet ways to date safely. Preference coffee in the next town. Use initials in your contacts. Keep a boundary bundle in your notes app with the sentences you'll send when you need to pause or end a conversation. Use video dates to read vibe before meeting in person. If someone demands access to your offline life before you're ready, that's a no from me. Safety first doesn't make you cold, it makes you wise. Here's a soft re-hook. and a promise to keep you with me. In a moment, I'll give you a 5-line message you can copy and paste to set expectations with a new partner. Then we'll close with a tiny nervous system reset you can do together after a date to anchor safety and sweetness, the 5-liner. Hey, I'm excited to get to know you. I'm a trans woman and I'm open to respectful questions, but I don't discuss medical details. I value public respect, correct pronouns, and moving at a pace that keeps both of us comfortable. Before intimacy, we'll talk about boundaries and language so we both feel good. If that works for you, I'm in. If they can't honor those basics, they won't hold the deeper parts of you either. You're not losing a soulmate. You're skipping a lesson you've already learned. Let's talk about sex without leaving your body behind. Pleasure is not the enemy of dysphoria. Confusion is. Map your yeses. Maybe it's kisses behind the ear. Maybe it's slow hands on your bag. Maybe it's dancing and laughing and nothing else tonight. Your yeses are allowed to be specific. Your no's are allowed to be complete. You can want closeness and decline certain acts. You can change your mind midstream and still be a delight to love. A loving partner will not make your identity an argument they need to win. They will become a student of you. They will celebrate the days your eyes soften because the words they chose landed just right. They will ask, how can I help this feel even safer? And then listen to your answer. If you've never had that, I want you to know it exists. And you are not asking for luxury. You are asking for the bare minimum of real love. Let's close with a reset. This is something you can offer yourself or invite a partner into if it feels right. Sit with your feet on the floor, place a hand on your ribs and a hand on your low belly. Breathe in through your nose until both hands rise. Let the exhale be longer than the inhale, 3 breaths like that. Then each of you says one sentence. I appreciated this. I'm curious about that. No fixing, no defending, just noticing together. That's how trust grows roots. I know this is brave work. To show your face to another person when the world has misnamed you so many times. To ask for the exact language your heart needs when you've been taught to settle for scraps. To leave when staying would be easier in the short term. This is grown woman courage. It changes the texture of your days. If you've dated with dysphoria and found what helps, tell us in the comments. If you met a secret keeper or a chaser and got free, share the sentence that saved you. If you're just starting, say where you are and what you're afraid of so the rest of us can meet you with care. If you want a community beyond this channel where people already understand the terrain, there are trans-only spaces online like transgenderzone.com where you do not have to explain the basics before you can be held. Go where your nervous system can exhale. Arrive quietly if you need to. You get to decide what parts of you are shared and what stays private, and you can still be fully loved. You are not a gamble. You are not a secret. You are not an apology. You are a woman learning to keep herself company while she invites the right people closer. You are allowed to want love that is ordinary and kind. You are allowed to want sex that feels like home. You are allowed to take your time. I'm proud of you for asking for more, for protecting the soft parts, for telling the truth even when your voice shakes. The world will try to convince you that your standards are too high. They aren't. They're finally appropriate for the life you're building. Keep breathing. Keep choosing yourself. The ones who can meet you will find their way in.